I'm Greg Fruit, Sports Chef Guru. Welcome to my show. Week 11 in the NFL. Let's get straight into it. I'll talk a little bit about dinner tonight, this chicken, organic chicken. But let's get into the games first. We're going to lead off with the Dallas Cowboys today. They're at Detroit. Again, Dallas is in a must-win because they couldn't win for us on Sunday. And I hope Ezekiel Elliott starts playing like a real running back. I'd like to see after a hit him get a couple more yards instead of going down. He just got $50 million, and so he needs to step it up, and the rest of the team. They need to get this win. They have a backup quarterback, Detroit. We are going to lay the points in this game. I would buy it off the 7 if you can. And again, Dallas needs this game at Detroit. They're a dome team. We're not worried about that, so lay that. We're also going to go to the East Coast, South Florida. We're going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Saints. Obviously, the Saints had a great start this year. They were undefeated, and then Breeze came back. Now they're struggling a little bit with him, so we're going to hope we clip that 5. That's what they're giving us right now. You might get 5.5. Maybe it'll move to 6 before game time. We're going to go with Tampa Bay in this spot. We like their coach. They are struggling a little bit this year, but they're a team that can surprise some teams. They beat the Rams on the road, so they do know how to win these types of games, and they have the right, I feel they have the right coaching and situation to cover this spread. They played earlier in this year in New Orleans, so we think they'll have that to look at. So we're going to go with Tampa Bay in this position at home. We're going to take the 5. We're going to move over to Baltimore. This is a big game. Obviously, everybody's talking about 2 quarterbacks that love to run, 2 coaches. One's a Super Bowl champion. The one's can't get past the first round of the playoffs. So we're going to go with the Ravens in this position. They're the better team at this point. We feel they're poised to go further into the postseason. I do like Watson for the Houston Texans, but we're going to go ahead and stay with Baltimore in this position at home. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to money line this position because the Ravens are a little over $2, and so and they're laying 4. And you can lay the 4 too, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to money line this game with the Kansas City Chiefs, who are playing in Mexico on Monday night against the Chargers in a game they need to win, coming off a loss last week. Mahomes should be feeling better in this game. The Chargers are not going to go to the playoffs at all, so the Chiefs really need to take advantage of this game. It's a divisional game. They need to win this game. And so these positions, if you put San Diego and the Ravens together on a 2-team parlay, it pays better than even money. So we want to keep consistent. Again, to recap, so far we're going to go Dallas on the road at the Lions, and we feel these games all have the same strength. Keep in mind, you guys, I've been doing this for over 2 decades. I've been helping people sustain profits betting professional sports, all the sports. I'm very proficient at it. I have my partner here, Mark. We go over the games together. We know what to look for, and so we want to communicate to you that I want to be your sports handicapping coach. We're going to talk about some nutritional supplements. Also, the meals I like to prepare. These are healthy meals for you because I'm going to tell you right now, we can win all the games all year long, but if you're not healthy, it doesn't matter. You can't have your wealth unless you have your health, and I'm very passionate about spreading that information to you guys. I want to welcome you again to my show and come back every day for my advice on these games. But we have a few more games I want to get into late in the afternoon. But I want to talk about this recipe real quick. This is a simple recipe here. I buy this chicken from my local natural grocer. It's $10, and it's a whole chicken. You can't beat that for organic. And what I usually do is I like to stuff it with an organic onion. You can use red, yellow, or white, whichever you prefer. I usually cut half of it. I stuff it with that. Little organic garlic. I use garlic a lot. Raw garlic in my cooking. It really adds a lot of flavor. I love garlic. I'm part Italian, so what are you going to do? Everyone loves garlic. And it's really good for you. It's good for your gut, your digestion. Obviously helps with your cardiovascular. So all these recipes I'm sharing with you, these are all healthy recipes. And not just healthy, they taste great. This food, when you taste this food, you're going to think you're eating out of a good restaurant. I'm not kidding. I'm talking about a really good restaurant. This type of food, when you prepare, and when you go to a restaurant, you're going to have to pay up to $20 minimum for an entree, and you're just going to get one leg and a thigh maybe. This is a whole chicken here. So I go ahead and cut the onion up. I cut the garlic. I stuff it underneath the skin. And I like to also use this Kalamata olives a lot in my cooking. I stuff the olives in here inside the cavity with the onions and garlic, also underneath the skin. While they also carrots, I like to use organic carrots, but you can use all kinds of things. You can put potatoes. Speaking of potatoes, I have sweet potatoes here. These are organic. I picked these up as well. And I usually just bake these while I'm baking the chicken. So they're done about the same time as the chicken's done, maybe a little bit longer. Everyone knows how to cook these. Put the fork in. If it's tender, it's done. Very healthy sweet potatoes. And you can use yam, sweet potatoes, regular russet, all organic. Again, any food that's touching the ground, that's growing on the ground, you want to be organic because of all the pesticides that they put in our food these days. These are cleaner products. So definitely you want to make sure anything that's growing and touching the ground, the surface the whole time is organic. And that's why I want to share that with you. I use this bone broth. This is really healthy for you. You always want to try to get some bone broth in your cooking on a daily basis. I do, whether I'm making eggs. Obviously, I will use this product, or I will make my own bone broth myself. It's easy to do. You throw one of these chickens in a large pan, fill it up with, I use bottled water, or I use this type of water. This is actually all I drink is water out of the glass. And then just boil it for simmer it for 24 hours, and you got yourself a great stock there. So that's important. Again, your nutrition is huge. These games are huge today. This is a big weekend in NFL. We're starting to see teams positioning themselves for playoffs. The motivation factor is obviously bigger for some of these teams than the others. So we want to focus on that. And these are plays here we'd like you to play. We're certainly going to be on them as well. We're going to move into the afternoon games. We have Arizona at 49ers. Again, this is a matchup we saw earlier in the season. It was on a Monday night. They got blown out at home. Cardinals, they did hang around for a little while, but they're going to look to get some revenge. The Niners have a few players out in this game. They did have some players out. They didn't have their tight end. Last game, they lost to the Seahawks. They lost to the Seahawks. And so anyway,
Monday night.
Yeah, my stat guy put undefeated, so forgive me. Yeah, anyway, so we had that there. With that being said, and I knew this anyway, we actually had a small wager on the Cardinals. With that being said, though, we do like the points. They've moved this points down to 10. It opened 13 and a half, and they're steaming Arizona. Again, that doesn't make a big difference. It's not like it's a bigger play for us. We're going to keep it. These plays all have basically the same value for us. So we're going to stay with the Cardinals. It's down to 10. Buy it off the 10 to 10 and a half. Also, we have another situation here. New England's at Philadelphia. Now, we had the Eagles 2 years ago big in this Super Bowl game. We rode the Eagles all through the playoffs that year. Had a phenomenal year and phenomenal playoffs. We actually were 10-0-1. And not many people can do that in the postseason, but we did post that. Hopefully, we'll repeat that this year for you guys. We are going to take the Eagles in this position. They are at +3 right now. We're going to get the field goal at home. I believe they have the strategy to beat this. I'm sorry, it's gone up. Thanks, Mark. It's gone up to 5, so we're getting more points. They're steaming New England. They think New England wants to revenge. They're obviously coming off a loss in Baltimore a couple weeks back where they basically were manhandled in that game. So maybe the second half of the year, New England's going to start struggling a little bit. And we hope to take advantage of that in this position with the good Philadelphia team at home, who really needs to win the game. They're a game over 500. they're trying to get in a wild card spot, so they have more motivation in this game. And again, we don't have to win, so go ahead and take Philadelphia in that game as well. Also, we want to move over to the late game tonight, the Sunday night game. The Bears are at the Rams. Obviously, the Rams are trying to get into the playoff contention as well. They've been struggling this year a little bit. That's the way it is. You know, you try when you get to the Super Bowl. We did have the Rams last year in the Super Bowl. It wasn't a big play for us, but we released the Rams, and it was a very close game. Obviously, their offense didn't come through that game where they would have won. They had a tremendous defensive performance in the Super Bowl. But to get back to this game, we're going to go with the Bears in this spot. We're going to take the 7, if you can get it. It's at an open 7, so buy it to 7. And a lot of people are off the Bears right now. You know, don't get off teams. I'm here to help you as a professional sports wager and consultant. My job is basically to understand these positions, so it doesn't matter what our feelings are about teams. You know, our feelings are not necessarily facts, and so what I'm trying to do is give you the facts. These are positions that are favorable to making money. Whether you like the Bears or not doesn't matter. We like them today. They're getting a touchdown at LA. And I think that they're going to get back on track. They just beat Detroit last week. So we look for them to pick it up in this game. I don't think they'll win the game, but we definitely like the touchdown with that very good defense the Bears have. Again, I want to encourage you to come back to my show every day. I appreciate all you viewers. Thank you for all the support on Facebook. We have our motto here. It's very simple. We're going to change this world one good meal and one good bet at a time. So I encourage you to come back to my show every day. I have generally I have Julie here, my nutrition coach. She couldn't make it this weekend. She'll be back next weekend to help explain more of these supplements to you and these ingredients I'm using and how they'll benefit you. They're helping restore me to good health. I can promise you they'll help to restore you as well. Go to your local market.
Natural growth.
No, go to your local natural market. We're gonna go ahead, Mark. You can get close to the thing now. Get ready. Yeah, go to your local market, organic market. Ask them for help. I'm here to help you too. I'm going to be your sports handicapping coach, and I'll be your nutrition coach up to now. Obviously, I'm not an expert here, but I will have you have some help. So come back every day. We're going to help you get healthy and get wealthy, because you can't be wealthy without your health, and that's what I'm here to help you do. So thanks for being here. See you tomorrow.
What about the hockey and the basketball?
Well, you should. Whatever. You just